Welcome to another video. Now today is a review on the newly released Blumhouse Productions horror movie, You Should Have Left. You Should Have Left follows the story of a retired rich former banker, his actress wife, and their child who go to a villa in the Welsh countryside just to have a little bit of an escape from their big lives. Now the main character Theo, who is portrayed by Kevin Bacon, also has some past demons he's looking to kind of clear his head from, but some other things do happen in this, and you'll hear what I have to say about them in the pros and cons. So now into the pros. Now this movie does contain some weird kind of interesting things that we haven't seen as much from other horror movies. There's some bits where they kind of measure the walls of the house on the inside and then on the outside, and it has grown bigger on the outside and then the inside. I don't know, that sounds a bit dumb saying it out loud, but like, you know, the house is changing size. Yeah, it just sounds dumb saying it out loud, to be honest, but it does make for some kind of interesting things. Also, when they try and walk away from the house and they walk 4 miles or so downhill and they reached the house again somehow. I think if it portrayed more areas like that, it had potential to be a solid movie, but there were just such little details like that used. But you'll hear what I have to say about that in the cons. Yeah, so this movie is a horror movie and I don't find it scary, not even one bit. Even in some bad horror movies, there's like one scene which can make you jump, but none for me in this movie. Like, there's a difference between a jump scare and actually being scared. Being scared, you build tension to make the kind of viewer feel tense, and then when there's a jump scare, that's like a well-made one, but then there's some lazy ones where it's all quiet and then suddenly just goes blah, which it's a human reflex to kind of jump, basically like go like that. So human reflex is not really achieving anything from making it scary. Yeah, but in this case, even when they did have those out of nowhere jump scares, they didn't even change my expression at all. I was just there like the whole time, you know, nothing special at all. Kind of like a mix between a haunted house movie and a psychological thriller. But in haunted house movies, the house is like old and therefore haunted, but this house, they said, is only 4 years old and it's built on top of an older house. But yeah, so 4-year-old house is going to look very modern, which it does, which doesn't make for anything scary because it just looks so clean. To be honest, you're kind of just there admiring the house in all the scenes. In all horror movies, a key factor which helps with creating a scary tone is the lack of light, but all the rooms are well lit and everything you can clearly see, so there's no darkness, and therefore it doesn't make it any scary either. And just like a lot of movies, most likely horror movies, the runtime is very short. It's only an hour and a half, but this movie takes like 45 minutes to actually get to the main point of the story. The story before that was all about building character, which didn't really feel too necessary. It kind of mixed up the plot, but I'll get into more about that. They only used dream sequences for the big jump scares, which is not a good thing for a horror movie unless it's like The Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's based in your actual dreams. These are just to provide more jump scares. They all kind of felt the same, to be honest. Just Kevin Bacon walking around his house and coming up against past demons. Now onto the family. I didn't find any of their performances convincing. I thought the daughter, Ellie, she didn't really seem necessary to the plot other than being the main source of getting the backstory of Kevin Bacon's character Theo explained to her. And there's this whole big dilemma with Kevin Bacon's wife, Susanna, which just doesn't feel necessary. It just gets rid of her for half the movie, which once again, I don't get what they're adding from that. Like, why couldn't he just be a single dad? Or why didn't he just go there by himself? Like, there's no reason to have all these other characters in there. But yeah, just overall, not a good movie. So into my final verdict. Now, I felt this was a very sloppy movie, and in terms of horror, there was very little here. Nothing that brings any scare into me. I felt like they attempted too much in such a short duration, and they just kind of complicated the plot with all these backstories and ending with a predictable ending. But seeing from the trailer, I thought it was going to be poor from the get-go. Not just because it didn't really convince me the look of it, but also the setting actually did disappoint me in the movie. Just a modern house which is constantly lit up doesn't make for a great haunted house movie. But yeah, overall, You Should Have Left gets a 4 out of 10 from me. Very, very bland and doesn't really change your life for the better. And for that, I do not recommend watching it. It will just waste your time. Even the performances from the actors aren't impressive. I hope you enjoyed this review of You Should Have Left. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you agree with me or if you disagree with me, it would be nice to see what other people think. In a few days, I'm going to have a different kind of video coming out. It's a ranking, but it's not really one I've done before. It's quite different, so I look forward to making that one for you, and I hope you guys enjoy it, just like I hope you enjoyed this video. But yeah, I'd really appreciate if you would leave a like, and if you would subscribe, that would be great as well. And I shall see you in the next video.